Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome to OJC Online Joint Class, a collaborative program between Telkom University Indonesia and University Technology Mara Malaysia. So here we've got two excellent speakers, Ms. Maharani Budi, Master of Advertising, and also Mr. Syahril Rashid from UiTM. And today's, our two excellent speakers are going to explain deeply about advertising design for session 2. And then during the class, please turn your video on and also mute your Zoom while you are listening to the explanation. And then you may leave the questions on the chat box of Zoom, or you may turn the microphone on to ask directly to the speakers. All right, so because Ms. Maharani Budi was the first speaker last week, and then today's probably Mr. Rashid will be the first speaker for this day.
Okay, no
Or
problem.
today's
As
OJC.
expected
All
lah.
right,
Okay,
then.
no problem. So, may I, Miss Marani?
Please, Pak Syahril.
Okay. So, hold on,
Okay,
let me
then.
share you the screen first. Okay, so can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
It's
hold on.
clear.
Okay, so today, because of last week, we already discussed. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sorry. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Assalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya wa mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Allahumma aftah alaina hikmataka wa anshur alaina min khazar ini rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. Rabbi shrah li sadri wassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Wassallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa barik wasallam walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. So, selamat datang dan juga bertemu kembali teman-temannya daripada Indonesia. Jadinya ini adalah sesi kedua, yang mana untuk sesi ini kita akan lebih membincangkan kepada how to advertise. Jadinya bila diberikan task ini oleh Bapak Sofi, saya diberitahu yang untuk advertising, mula-mulanya kita akan menceritakan tentang bagaimana, what to advertise. Jadinya minggu lepas saya lebih tekankan tentang bagaimana untuk membina kontennya itu on how to sell. Jadinya itu adalah rekomendasi untuk perkara-perkara yang berkaitan dengan how to sell. What to sell. Okay, and then as for today, we are going to discuss about how to sell. And then the subtopic that I choose for this one is the art of engagement. Okay, the art of engagement means the engagement between the brand and also the target audience lah, and how we are. And for today, we are going to discuss about how we are going to look at the examples of engagement that may happen if you do this, and then the cause and the effect. Okay, so here we go. First of all, okay, to talk about the engagement, we must know about the theory of communication first. That means this is the basis of communication. So we must know, we must understand first about the basic concept that you must learn about the theory of communication. So by right, the basis of communication started from this process actually. Okay, the linear process. Okay. This theory actually was taken from the Berlus model, and then it happened that in Berlus model, it was stated that to make the communication complete, okay, so you must have the sender and the receiver. So right now we are assuming that the sender is you and then the receiver is your target audience. So in between this sender and the receiver, so you must have one the message, okay, and then for our side, okay, actually the message is what is the idea that you are going to convey lah, okay. And then for the other parts is you are going to talk about the channel or the media itself. And then this is how to approach my audience lah. Okay, so in the channel and the media is the selection of platform that you are going to choose to reach your receiver, or in this case, your target audience lah. Okay, so when we talk about the message that you are conveying, okay, actually, the idea sometimes is very complicated. So when the idea is very complicated, so it is recommended for you to have this kind of what we call it the strategy. Okay, a good strategy to derive to deliver your message. Okay, so right now, so when sometimes I'm at the point, maybe you, because of there are too many things that you are going to talk about your product or maybe your brand. So the channel and the media will play an important role to become the platform, the mediator to reach the target audience. So that's why in this case, okay, for the basic of communication, so we need to understand about this one first. Okay, and then in other words, okay, the theory also is known by the theory Jerome hypodermic, or maybe some other point, there are some people saying that this is a theory peluru ajaib. Kenapa ianya peluru ajaib? Kerana ianya berlaku di dalam satu hala sahaja. Okay, jadinya kita juga mempunyai proses komunikasi interaksi, or in other words, interaction communication process. So partisipasinya sama, ada punyai sender, begitu juga dengan receiver. Okay, cumanya yang membedakan di sini hanyalah di sini untuk interaction mereka mempunyai response ataupun feedback. So in other words, dalam advertising, some of the points we are looking at the what we call it as a CTA, call to action. Actually, how we are going to build the engagement and make the audience response to your ad and so on. Okay, so in this interaction, most of the time, some of the point, okay, in advertising, we want to hear from the audience itself. Okay, we want to know about what is their experience. Okay, we want to know about actually what do you think about our product. So in other words, so sometimes the supplier, the brand, or the product itself will respond to the audience, and they are going to fulfill their needs, because of right now when we are talking about the supply and demand. So we know that some of the point, as a normal human being, there are many needs. Okay, many needs from the many requirements that we need to fulfill from the audience. So that's why some of the point we need to look into that criteria, or maybe we need to look at these demands, because of some of the point it will create an opportunity for new things. Okay, and the other one is transaction communication process. Okay, the process is simple, same as the basic one, but somehow, okay, it involves with the interaction with how we are going to how we are going to tell it. The interaction, the transaction process involves the noise. Okay, means that here the noise that we are considering here is maybe in other words, okay, to make it simple, let's understand about the noise like this. Kadang-kadang ada masa dan ketikanya kita apabila kita berbicara, okay, mungkin kita akan mengalami kesukaran dalam untuk menghantar sesuatu mesej. Kesukaran itu berlaku disebabkan oleh banyak faktor, mungkin disebabkan oleh kekangan logistik sebagai contoh, ataupun mungkin accessibility sebagai contoh. Begitu juga dengan beberapa perkara lain yang bisa membuatkan komunikasi itu tidak boleh berlaku dengan bagus. Jadi segala gangguan-gangguan yang berlaku ini adalah yang kita consider as a noise lah. Okay, so this is the three basic communication process that happen in our life. Okay, so after that, jadinya bila kita tengok kepada proses komunikasi ini, apakah yang mungkin kita bisa relatekan, mungkin kita boleh kaitkan dengan the engagement itu. So let's take a look. Okay, in other hands, okay, jika dilihat daripada segi penyampaian konten itu kebanyakan masanya itu ianya bergantung kepada jenis platform yang tersedia. Okey, mungkin jenis platform itu mungkin berbeza-beza mengikut keperluan audiensnya itu sendiri. Ada masa dan ketikanya jika audiensnya adalah terdiri daripada golongan kanak-kanak sebagai contoh, jadinya bagaimana kita mahu untuk cuba mencapai kanak-kanak ini supaya mereka bisa menerima apa yang kita ingin sampaikan. Jika audiensnya itu adalah mungkin remaja gitu, mungkin di sini kita perlu fikirkan what types of suitable platform that may reach them effectively. So these are the things that maybe we need to look at. And then as for today, I will only show you the examples of how the engagement may happen between you and also the receiver, the target audience. Okay, and then for this part, okay, please do not forget the formula, the 5 W's and 1 H. Okay, we need to consider about the what, when, why, where, and also who. Okay, the most important part. Okay, and then the 1 H is how. Okay, so let's take a look at this the slide after this. Okay, so this data actually was taken from the GWI. Okay, so when we talk about the content and we talk about the social media is one of the best platform nowadays, okay, to deliver any message that you are trying to spread, okay, the message that you are conveying. Okay, so right now this is the part of things that maybe you may take a look at, okay, and then maybe you need to consider it, okay, because of right now this is the percentage of social media users on this platform who want to see the following types of content on the services. Okay, so if you are going to talk about the funny things, okay, maybe the best platform for the social media that you are going to choose is TikTok and the YouTube. Okay, because the percentage of these two are higher compared to the others. If you are going to talk about something that informative, so you may look at the numbers. So this thing actually will help you to choose what is the most appropriate platform that you are going to choose regarding your content. Okay, so the creative part, if you are going to talk about the creative part, so which platform actually you are going to choose, okay, the relevant content, and then the relaxing content, the engaging content, the inspirational content. So actually these numbers actually was based on the 13,014 and 467 social media users in 11 countries, age 16 to 64. So right now, if you are considering right now, I believe that for my student, they are working with the audience and they are working with the platform. What platform actually they are going to choose to deliver their content, their message, and so on. So these may help you to consider on what platform actually that you are going to choose to suit your content. Okay, if you are going to educate, so what type of education that you are going to talk about? Is it in a funny way, or maybe you want to make it personal, or maybe it was heartwarming, or maybe inclusive? So you may look at these numbers, and then you may consider this one as the platform, the appropriate platform that you are going to choose to become your delivery platform. Okay, so next, let's take a look at how to write your content. Okay, some of the point, maybe I believe that some of you already know about this, but somehow maybe there are some new things that you need to learn about. Okay, so in order to write your content, I believe that there are some other what we call it as a recommendation, okay, for you to write down. Okay, and as for today, I believe that because of the technology, we have ChatGPT and so on. So please, okay, you may use this technology to be your effective tool to help you develop the copywriting and so on. Okay, maybe you have the idea on how to deliver, but somehow you didn't know how to deliver it perfectly, or maybe you didn't know how to deliver it in a way of in a creative way. Okay, so these are the things that maybe help you. Okay, as for example, for AIDA, I believe that my students already hear this from me a lot. Okay, the explanation. Okay, the AIDA, the acronym stands for the attention, interest, desire, and action. Okay, so the examples. Okay, so you can look at the examples. Discover the secret of smooth skin, loved by thousands. Why wait? Try now. Okay, so these are some of the recommending format content that you may apply. And we also have past, okay, problem, agitate, and the solution. Tired of dull hair? You're not alone. Discover our rejuvenating shampoo. So we also have the 4Cs. Okay, for the marketing, they always recommend this. Okay, clear, concise, compelling, and credible. Fast relief, no side effects. Trusted by doctors, and get your sample today. Okay, it's short. Okay, but somehow the examples. Okay, the content itself shows everything that you need to know about the product. Okay, and then we also have the fab features, advantages, the benefit. Okay, maybe you want to talk about the features, advantage, and the benefit. And for this one also happen when you didn't find out the USP, the unique selling proposition. For in other hands, if you are referring to SMP, single-minded proposition, so these are the usual way how we are going to convey our message. Okay, we are highlighting the features, we are highlighting the advantages, we are highlighting the benefits. So maybe as for example, in the market there are so many shampoo out there, and then I believe that the shampoo, all the brands of the shampoo may have the same function. Okay, in other way, maybe the function of the shampoo is about anti-dandruff. Okay, so I believe that most of the brands out there have the anti-dandruff shampoo, but somehow at the end of the day, when the consumer try, or maybe when they are trying to decide which one that they are going to buy, it will reflect their interest. Okay, maybe the interest is based on their senses of they like the floral smell or something like that, or maybe they like the masculine product and so on. So this is like, I will say that this is the most common things that happen out there when they don't have the USP. Okay, and then we have the ACC. Okay, the awareness, comprehension, and the conversion. Meet our new skincare line, vegan and paraben-free. Shop the collection now. And then the last one is SLAP. Okay, stop, look at, act, and purchase. Wait, check out our summer collection, limited stock, grab yours today. So these are some of the recommending format that you may use to develop your content. So this is not mandatory. As I said to my student, this isn't mandatory, but somehow you may use this as a guideline for you when you are going to write your content. Okay, so right now, after this, so what's next? Hold on, Okay, so how? We already discussed about how. So right now we are talking about when. So these are some part of the examples. Okay, when you are going to post on the social media. Okay, so this is some of the examples that I've taken from the below. Okay, the best time for you to post on. So if you are using Facebook, right now you are choosing Facebook as a platform for you to deliver your advertising. So the best time when you are going to choose is from 1 to 4 p.m. Okay, why? So maybe you can look at the reason there. Okay, and then in some other point, weekends get the highest level of engagement on Facebook. Okay, and then the Facebook users also browse on their desktop and check it during downtime at work. So that's why in this part of Facebook, if you are saying that your target audience is more to like a casual people, like people age around 40 to 50, and they tend to spend a lot of time at Facebook. So maybe you have to look at this source to become your guideline. When is the best time for you to plan your media? Okay, and then for the Twitter, from 12 to 1 p.m. Okay, during the lunch hour. So Saturday and Sunday are the worst days to post on Twitter because some other point, because of the nature of the people. So maybe from 12 to 1 p.m. So they tend not to look at the Twitter. They tend to look to do the other things aside from looking at the Twitter or maybe read the Twitter. Okay. Posting at lunch every day, Monday to Friday, can help you increase social media engagement. Okay, and the LinkedIn, and then we also have this Instagram, and then the YouTube as well. So these are the major platforms that I believe that most of our students, okay, may use, and maybe this will help you when you are going to perform, or maybe you are going to strategize your media. Okay, and then after this. Maybe maybe I can show you some of the examples, a good example on how the engagement works. Okay, so in Malaysia, they usually think of something, maybe how to make it viral. In other hands, I don't know about Indonesia, but somehow in Malaysia, we tend to hear the bad marketing from Datuk Ali Shukri, or maybe Datuk Vida as well. So they just want to make it viral regarding whatever idea that they are going to use. Okay, so some other point, maybe the product seems very attractive, but somehow the way of how they market it, so the viral thing, some other point, some other end, okay, not really help to sustain the branding for the product itself. Okay, but somehow in other hands, the certain product, they use a very creative way how they are going to create the engagement, how they are going to develop the engagement. So these are one of the examples that you may take a look, okay, from the one case study from Chat Time. Okay, the engagement, okay, is related to Twitter. Okay, so in this part, maybe you can read there. Okay, there's no RT, no comments, and no likes. So the challenge here is no RT, no comments, and no likes. Okay, so who? Okay, so who is the client? Okay, so the client is Chat Time with Nilofa. So for your information, untuk teman-teman daripada Indonesia, Nilofa one is the public figure in Malaysia lah. Okay, and then before this, she was an actress, sorry, and then after a few years back, and then she managed to what we call it, she produced her own brand. Okay, so she's sell the tudung and so on. Okay, and then right now, where? Okay, in Malaysia, and it happened during November 2020. Okay, I believe that when you look at the year there, okay, it was during the MCO, the PKP time. Okay, when back then when people need to stay at home, and then you are not allowed to go outside and so on, do your things. Okay, so this thing happened. How the Chat Time prepare, okay, their brand to make the engagement with the audience. Okay, so why? Okay, in a bid to create buzz for their business, Chat Time posted a challenge on Twitter to invite followers engagement. Because of the MCO, and then people are not allowed to go outside. So Chat Time really needs to do something to alert people that the brand itself is still a player in the market. Okay, so they just think of something that maybe will trigger people about, okay, the brand still out there, so we need to alert about the brand itself. Okay, so what? Okay, so there you go. Okay, so Chat Time brought the challenge strategy to Twitter, offering free Chat Time every day for a year. Okay, so maybe some of you, if you are not uh, uh, a fan of chat time, but somehow when we look at the offer, okay, maybe it will entice you. Okay, as a normal human being, I believe that when we talk about free things, okay, when we talk about discounted things and so on, it may trigger your emotion. Maybe you want to try. Okay, so what happened? So the challenge will be like this. Okay. So chat time use the Twitter, so now X. Okay. So he challenged people, the followers. Okay, want a free chat time every day for 1 year for yourself. Quote this, tweet and get 0 likes, 0 RTs, and 0 comments by 10 p.m. tomorrow. Okay, one lucky winner will be selected. Okay, and then what happened? Okay, so if we take a look here, okay, ta-da! Okay, so our public figure here, Nilofa, jump into the scene. Okay, so siapa like or comment, she said, tak nak kawan. Okay, but I believe that actually the post itself will trigger so many people. Okay, it means they just want to create an attention. Okay, so does she succeed? Okay, so just take a look at the bottom of the slide. Okay, so in a short time, I believe that she received 135 messages, and then RT around 623, and then likes for about 4,000 plus likes. Okay, and then in other hands, okay, maybe this is just a new way to trigger people's attention. Okay, and then she responded. Okay, she gave the sad emojis, okay, to express a feel and so on, okay, about her previous tweet. And then, but still get the engagement. Okay, she still received 208 comments and then 811 retweets and 9,331 likes. Okay, if you look at the numbers of the likes, okay, you can see the increasing of the number. Okay, so again, there she goes, and then the drama continues. And then she tried one again. Okay, sis cuba lagi sekali. Warning, jangan like or comment. Okay, and then after that, what happened? So look at the number. Okay, look at the number again. And then after that, at the end of the day, she said that, okay, give up, bye. Because of she still received lots of comments, and she still received lots of retweets, and she still received lots of likes. Okay, and then after that, what happened? Okay, the reactions from the audience. Okay, so these are some of the examples that we call it as a how they develop the engagement creatively. Okay, so some of the points, some of the followers say, okay, nak tolonglah jangan saya pergi like. Okay, to take the challenge. Kalau betul-betul dapat kosong komen, 0 retweet and 0 like, jangan tak bagi pula. Say no to harapan palsu. So these are the things yang saya kiranya kalau di dalam bahasa mudahnya adalah part of a word of mouth. But we call it as an electronic word of mouth, e-worm. Okay, so these are part of the e-worms. Okay, the action of liking, sharing, okay, talk, discuss. Okay, so these are the things that happen in the Twitter. Okay, and then the Zara, Sepalite, they kahwin umur 50 in a joke way. Okay, I swear this kind of content show the true colors of dengki people. And some other point, maybe you can look, some people may go further because of the challenge. Okay, they sharing the koleksi hadis 120 jauhi hasad dengki and so on. So these are the examples of how people reacting on the simple challenge in the Twitter itself. Okay, so these are the parts of what we call it as a very good word, electronic word of mouth, okay, to create the brand engagement. Okay, and then after that, okay, some other point, some people took the advantages of the viral things, and then they are promoting their own product, maybe they are promoting their own business. Okay, so these are normal. I believe that these things are normal actually. Okay, so after that, and then we can look at the recap. So what happened actually? Okay, so the zero challenge on Twitter sparked another brand to try the same strategy. Okay, so in other hands, I believe that some of the products, some of the brand will try the same way how the chat time did, and then they will also try to make the engagement by using the public figure. So Syed Sadiq is one of the prominent politician in Malaysia, but somehow right now he has cases and then was found guilty. So this happened during the MCO lah. Okay, and then the Milo, okay, one of the product in Malaysia, one of the popular product from Malaysia, also try the same thing. Okay, Abang Milo rasa macam baik hati nak bagi set vintage Milo secara cuma lah, and so on and so on. Okay, so maybe it's just a joke. Okay, but somehow I believe that okay, some brands, some product use the same way on how they are going to make or create the engagement about the product, okay, to the audience itself. Okay, so and what happened? So in a short time, okay, we can see that they receive lots of response, okay, from the audience, even if they are not following the chat time, but it happened that because of maybe their audience were from Nilofar's fan, so automatically they will trigger to know more about this product lah. Okay, and then for the recap, the Twitter Zero Challenge result in many engagement. The engagements are immediate when celebrities tweet. Okay, and it is easier for brand to marry each other to make recognition instantly. So in other hands, okay, maybe if your product didn't have that kind of a very good reputation, so it's good for you to make a very good collaboration, which will cause you a win-win situation between your brand and also the collab brand. So you may use the same things, same creative way in order to create the engagement. Okay, and then the result, okay, over 50K impression in short time period. And then the challenge itself received 115,000, 500 comments, okay, in a short time, for 40K likes, and then 10K retweets, okay. So in short time, so as we can see here, okay, the challenge is a simple challenge, but somehow it may trigger people and make people want to participate in the challenge, okay. So maybe it's a loss for Niloufar. Okay, but I know that one is just considered a tactic, but a win for Niloufar X chat time. Okay, so but somehow this is some of the products that have been collaborated between Niloufar and also the chat time. It's just an introduction to create the engagement, to make people just want to tease their emotion actually, okay, to engage with the chat time. But actually, at the end of the day, okay, the Niloufar presenting her collaboration with the chat time. So these are the things that maybe you can look at on how are you going to create the engagement in a creative way. So there are many ways on how you are going to create the engagement. So these are some of the examples that you may take a look on to create the engagement between your brand and the audience itself. So I believe that in order to reach the engagement, okay, to develop the engagement, there are so many things that you need to consider on, okay, the platform, the content itself, and how are you going to make it work. Maybe in order to do this, you have to think about, maybe you need to be different with your competitors. Maybe for this time, you are not going to use the funny content. Maybe you have to think about a new content that considered as, oh, this is like a new thing for the people out there to think of. So these are the things that you need to consider as a advertiser. So there are no such thing as a bad idea, but somehow a bad idea sometimes can be a very good idea if you know how to make it work. Okay, because the most important thing in advertising itself is how you generate the idea and how are you going to make it a valuable idea to make it sell for your product. So I think that's all for me. Thank you so much. If anything that you want to ask from about advertising, so you may email me at my email over there, and you may follow my IG at Mr. Syaril Rashid, and my FB is Muhammad Syaril Abdul Rashid. So thank you. That's all for me. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Yeah, have a nice day to you too, Mr. Shahril. Okay, thank you for the explanation. And then next, we're going to listen to the explanation from Ms. Maharani. So, yeah, please proceed, Ms. Maharani.
Okay, have you seen my presentation?
Yes, it's clear, Miss.
Okay, please wait. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good afternoon. Thank you, Pak Sahril. It's a very interesting. Then I think that it forgive me to distract the session because now I'm in the room. So if you hear any another sound, please forgive me. Okay. Thank you for the change. This is a second change after previous week that we already discussed about the very basic template, the very basic form that you can use for the advertising design. I think that's right now that I only share a very little about advertising media trends. Why I discuss about this matter, because I think it sometimes for the advertising students, most of them that really focus on the social media, and then it already discussed by Pak Sahril also, and then by creating the topic about how it works in the social media when you want to make a campaign, and then what to say and then how to say. But I think that I have a few study case that you might consider when you want to decide and define what the media or which media you want to use. And then if you can see here, it's a very general sample. And then you can find if you have the social media. I think that you have watched this boy. Anyone know? Anyone know? Anyone have watched what it is? And I already put the caption. So he is a Nobita Nobi, but by the artificial intelligence. It's not real one, but I think like nowadays the consumer becomes the people who have a very important role. They can contributing, and then they also sharing content. So this is what kind of the viral content in the social media. So everybody, they try to use AI, artificial intelligence, to creating and bring the characters to life. So this is one sample I want to use for you. And then before I continue the presentation, would you please watching one video as always?
In Indonesia, there is a lot of competition among the major marketplaces, and each one competes for customers by providing promotions, discounts, and free delivery. Blibli wants to go beyond this and has been focusing on the customer shopping experience. 90% of Blibli's consumers are millennials or Generation Z, and most of them prefer image and voice searches over typing to find products online. With this campaign, Blibli wanted to improve product discovery and search for its customers. Using cameras and AR filters is becoming increasingly popular. For this campaign, Blibli came up with the idea of bringing computer vision-based visual searches in the banner ads to make it easy for customers to explore products and offers. Like an outfit or dress, or a new sofa. Find comparable clothing, furniture, and home decor using your phone's photo. These machine vision-enabled ads let Bleebly customers discover what they need with a single click. Simply point their phone cameras at the item they want to buy, and the AI will suggest a match from Bleebly's collection of related products. To execute the campaign, created a visual search ad banner. Ad banners urged consumers to utilize their phone cameras to search for things on Bleebly. The computer vision AI was trained to provide the most relevant Bleebly items depending on what the user points their phone's camera at. Visual search-enabled ads were delivered online, including social, video, and game apps. Through the use of ad banners, people were encouraged to use their phone cameras to look for products they wanted to buy and then check out what was available on Bleebly. To reach the most relevant audience, we targeted people interested in electronics, fashion, and home and living. We also created marketing audience segments based on their searched products to improve conversions. API connection with Bleebly's product catalog refreshed the product list and improved picture matching. The results of this innovative solution were very encouraging. The campaign reached more than 1 million people. At 9.8%, the engagement rate was high and exceeded the industry average by 5 times. 41% of the engaged users clicked to use their camera to find a product on Bleebly, and 1 out of 4 people who used the visual search banner ended up buying on Bleebly. The brand lift study showed a positive uplift in brand metrics. Ad recall increased by 11%, and brand awareness rose by 10%. With this campaign, Bleebly has become the first to roll out a visual search feature in banner ads to give users a faster and more precise way to find products, resulting in a better user experience.
Okay, all I want to see today that beside the social media, actually one taken over the world is the AI or artificial intelligence. And for advertiser, it's a very important thing that will become a trend that would be ignored. And then this Peter Fishbom, this is the CEO of Dentsu for the marketing head. He said that growth in the next year with only about the hard economic. It's about the brand sustainable contribution to society, amortizing social polarization and climate emergency, building more carbon, blah blah blah. But if you see, there is one thing that we should put our focus in how to predict the trend of media, and then it couldn't be separated with the artificial intelligence. And here the data that I could get from the media trends report, you also can download it from the Google by Kanta or Dentsu or etc. The consumer behavior, it shows some important points that could be considered before you choose and you make a list or the media planning for your advertising. This is one interesting thing. I think that for the consumer behavior, when later in the presentation, I will say that related to the AI, it's telling you about how the shifting attitude through the decades, and then how people now they become more what I can say, they become more aware and conscious about the saving and investment, and then they are now try to membuat sebuah planning about the financial. So this is which say that some of hobbies and then a holiday technology 4 years,
Let's sort these grades from
like
highest
5
to
years
lowest.
ago, that we can see
add a
that
filter, use the
media and
shortcut
communication
Alt-A-T,
become the top of the priority
and then
of the
go
power
ahead
consumer.
and sort
But like
the
now,
grade
after
from
pandemic
largest
and
to
then
smallest.
our life
And you're all
changes,
done.
now people
Let's sort
are
these
more
grades
tend
from highest to lowest.
choosing, and they become the more niche, and then they become more selective about choosing the brand, and it also influenced the media, especially like what they could get by picking the media, and then they building a media habit for years, and then this also giving impact to how people now try to product how to generate AI, and then they can also make their own product with instead of choosing what of market profile for them. So according to Dentsu research, it is like a 91% of CMO believe the technology of AI is the future and not a fad. It's not a only trend. And also 78 of consumer agree. I think that most of us already try for AI generative, and then it also can be seen by the old application we using on the smartphone and then the gadgets. It is one sampling. When I say AI, you should be distracted our advertising activities. When you try ChatGPT, and then now consumer can ask everything to the AI, like what I did like a few hours ago, that I asked ChatGPT to recommend me a travel trip from Jakarta to Malaysia, and then actually instead of calling human, and then instead of calling somebody that can give me a real answer, that I prefer to ask AI everything, because the input it come from the big data that already purchased by the history, and then everything that you input through the internet. And then I think this is one approach that instead of we are seeing it is to be one challenge that could be integrated them to our media. And then this is another sampling by using AI, that you can see that how people enjoy information by different media, and then how the AI can be make the media more interactive, even that this is a very normal and a very conventional media, but giving a little touch of AI that it could be more interesting, and then giving more new experience for the target audience. Then we have the AI sandbox for advertiser. If you think that advertising is only for the consumer, but I think that one consideration that we also a consumer for advertising services, now Meta provided AI sandbox for advertiser, and then actually it's possible for everyone to be advertiser right now. It are making a simple content, and they want to like selling the things on the internet, but they have no advertising background, they have no design background. Now AI is providing them through the AI sandbox. And then actually I really want to ask you guys to discuss about this. I mean, how do you perceive the AI for the advertising itself? It is a threat for us, or should you be happier with the help the AI, that it will be make our job easier? So if you're using the AI sandbox, that actually this is the sample. If you put some keyword and then some of the textual input, that they will generate them to be an image, and they actually you can custom all the things that you like by the background or the packaging or anything. And then here it's also impacted for the artificial intelligence and the creativity reimagining. So whenever that we already contact with the internet and then the social media things, it is shifting how now the creativity process, the design process is now shifting from the practice and then the student and then the worker to the consumer itself. So I think this is the one brand try to approach the consumer by giving them a challenge to design, and then AI actually facilitates them to doing this. And then you can see that Nutella is the one using AI to creating, and then they can customizing the packaging for Nutella by AI, and then actually they will make the packaging for the consumer who design it. So I think we should watch this before we continue the discussion. Okay. Okay, Coca-Cola also launched the Create Real Magic when they using AI to allow the customer and everyone to participate on the contest, and then they challenging them to creating and design the packaging for them. But actually, I think that it's a very win-win solution for both of the side. I mean, here, Pasaril also mentioned that advertising still need the human touch. Of course, I totally believe in that because who control the AI is the man. So without the human, that AI couldn't do anything. I mean, it will help us to do whatever we want, but actually, it is a very big question for designer, especially for advertising student, how to compete or how to control and how to see AI as the tools, not the mind. Whenever you want to make an advertising, so. Okay. Oh, this is one of those the sample of the AI challenge by hand. So basically, the AI is another platform to creativity, and then actually it's not totally new for the advertiser. And then we also have a blue check on Instagram. It's also become the media trends where it should verify the identify of the people who have a real account on Instagram and Meta. So actually, the verify to identify is just like another approach also to for brands actually to having engage with the consumer, and if actually because I think that because they now lack off the attempt now they make it possible for everybody to pay if you want to have this blue check. All about this that should be discussed after this. So thank you. I think that's all for me. I really wish that it's a little bit different with the previous week when we should discuss many things related to the social media and then related to the AI and then how about this point that should be useful for making advertising and then actually how do you think as advertising students about this phenomenon? Do you think it will be last or should be we become afraid with the technology? So Bu Asri, please giving change for the advertiser student to discuss about this. How do you think?
Yeah, sure, Miss. We will have a discussion about the advertising.
Okay, guys, would you please open the cam and then would you share what your concerns related to the media and then our presentation today? Hello.
No,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
if
So
they quite shy, so they just can type. It's okay. Okay, I know that some of my students they have some sort of the question that they are going to ask regarding about our topic today, but somehow they didn't know how to question it. How to I don't know lah kan.
Yeah. Or should I question? Should I ask question for the participants?
yes,
Because I found that most of my students have a very latest gadgets. They have expensive laptops. They have a very the latest camera and etc. They also have now access AI and also they join the most of the social media accounts. But why I have the question, why the design is not that advanced? I mean, like, kenapa sih hasil dari tugas-tugas iklan itu pasti something new, Pasaril? I don't know. This is my personal concern. Why the result and then why the advertising assignment and then all the project it has it has not shown too much different between like today and then 10 years ago. What's wrong with that?
Oh, I
I
think
really
that one
want
is
to
considered as my problem here. But somehow when you're asking the same question, so maybe I'm assuming that, that you are facing the same problem also, huh?
yeah, that's why today actually I should be honest with you because like today when I try to presenting that my mind is working like I really want to know that how to I expecting I some kind of expecting that this should be a hot discussion.
Yeah.
I mean, like we are talking about the concern of designer, and actually, when I met with my friend, we we all ask the same question actually. So now, like we have the student and then the participant who join this conversation. I really want to know their perspective. I really want to know. Please share with us.
there's
Yeah.
one
There's
there's
an
one
answer,
comment
okay.
in the chat box, Miss.
Yes.
Okay, from Hafiz, eh? Okay.
Yeah.
AI can't beat Photoshop layers masterpiece.
Hmm.
Would you care to elaborate about this one, Hafiz? Dalam bahasa Melayu pun okay.
Would you please share with your thought? Or actually very simple that how do you think about AI from the perspective of student or
It's
the
okay, no problem.
listeners?
There are no such thing as a true or false and what so on. We are going to just have a very good discussion here.
I think the usage of AI ni it is good untuk buat just for reference, visual reference. Untuk use AI untuk commercialkan benda tu, it's a wrong thing lah. So macam saya cakap, AI can beat Photoshop layers sebabnya from there we know that we have the authenticity kat situ. Authentic kita punya workflow. So when people ask how do you create this design, and if you generate it from AI generator, you just have a image. You don't have the workflow where the layers and you may cannot explain how do you do like effects on that picture. From Photoshop, we know we can do it manually, like adding highlights, adding details. That's from my perspective.
Okay.
So AI actually lacks of the personal touch. Is that true? It's a personal that couldn't be replaced with the technology. I think that's something that we adore, and then it what makes our works should be different with the technology. So this, thank you, Hafiz. How about the other? I mean, other student, would you please share what you concern like now? Because you guys are student that Hafiz, I have some of my students already graduated. They come to me and then they ask to me that, Bu, I couldn't get work. I couldn't get a job because now they requires blah 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 blah. And then some of them think that we couldn't compete with the technology. So how do you think in the profession of designer should be feel treated with AI? Should be feel treated with technology?
Actually, for the AI, I think maybe there are no such thing as escaping themselves from the technology itself. Okay, sooner or later they still need to prepare to adapt with the technology, but somehow in order to adapt with the technology, okay, they have to prepare themselves with the least requirement, how they are going to use this AI technology in a creative way. So in order to do that, maybe you need to prepare yourself to learn a new things and so on. You have to, because you cannot escape actually. You cannot run from the fast growing of the AI, the technologies and so on. So you need to prepare for that. And in order to improve yourself, this is the only way on how you are going to compete with the other designers out there. I believe that.
So is it still best? Is it still important for students to learn the basic skill of design? Because that I think that all we do is operate the AI and then we lead the technology, not vice versa.
Still, because of it will differentiate because of some other point. It will differ you the way of how you deliver the content of the design. Okay, because of those who are an instant designer who just keep on learning the design from the YouTube and so on. I believe that they are lack of the content. Right now, when we are talking about the content itself. Okay, I think maybe the students that have the formal education background in university, especially, they need to prove that they have the responsibility to prove that the design that they are going to deliver it should be different from the instant art designer out there. So they should know how to make a design that have a significant content in there. I believe that they should prepare for that.
Oke, teman-teman yang lain ada yang mau apa ya? Mau menanggapi nggak sih? What is the biggest scare? Apa ketakutan kalian atau apa apa ya, kegelisahan kalian sebagai the advertising student. Ini untuk nanti ke depannya seperti apa gitu. Ada yang mau berbagi? Ini kita punya berapa orang? Sekitar 20-an orang. Anyone? Even in this class that I will approach them one by one. Pasaril.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Ya, Bu Astri ya. Kita mau nunggu diskusi ini atau gimana, Bu Astri?
Yeah, okay, so there is no right and wrong answer, ya guys. So please comment, give your comment. So let's discuss.
Iya, mungkin
Mungkin
siapa?
selepas
Fala?
ini penganjurnya perlu sediakan hadiah untuk mereka yang menjawab.
Betul, harus dikasih GoPay kayak biasanya. Sometimes that we should giving them reward, money, Pak Syahril. Kadang-kadang sepertinya seperti itu.
Iya.
Ada yang lain nih, siapa teman-teman? Ailia, Umi, Amri, Alia, Isya, Hafiz, dan teman-teman yang lain, Fala, mungkin Ananta, by your experience, guys, because I think that you should have another experience karena kan bergaul sama teman-teman kalian sesama student. Oh, maybe kita nggak tahu ya, Bu Astri, kalau misalnya sebagai lecturer kayak saya mungkin ngobrol sama Pak Saril kan karena profesi kami sama, apa yang kami ajarkan sama, bahasa yang digunakan Pak Saril dari presentasi tadi juga apa yang saya pakai di kelas. Jadi kurang lebih saya rasa kami sama ya concernnya. Tapi teman-teman ini yang lain gimana? Ada yang mau sharing? Mungkin sebelum sesi kedua ini berakhir mungkin ada nggak sih? Ada yang mungkin tidak tercover. It's not cover by the presentation today. Ada yang kami skip mungkin, ada nggak sih? Kira-kira. Mati lampu.
Yes.
Mati lampu. The blackout.
Yes. Guys, so share your idea.
Okay, the student actually expected we can read their mind. We couldn't.
Okay, there are some questions there.
Okay,
The check box.
gimana Ega?
Okay. Oh, finally. There are so many newcomers.
Is advertising degree is still worth in the upcoming years?
Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
So I dapat something about the advertising thing, okay, in the following years, yeah. Okay, so Pak Syahril,
Yeah.
will you give your comment?
Okay, I can to comment maybe refer to what have been discussed with the industry before this. Okay, it happened that I just came back from the meeting some of my new friends. Okay, and then these are some of the parts of discussion that we are discussing about. Okay, about this thing. Okay, how about the newcomer and so on. Okay, okay. I think maybe we have to look again at when you are studying in the university. Okay, and then actually in university, I believe that some of the knowledge that have been transferred to you is just a few only. Okay, and then after that is the way of how are you going to cope with it. When we talk about how are you going to cope with it, it means that okay, the knowledge that have been transferred to you from your lecturer is just a bit, and then the way of how are you going to improvise it, it's depend on how are you going to blend, how are you going to sell it for the people out there. So whatever it is, okay, I believe that it's still product out there. Jika masih ada produk, jika masih ada jenama di luar sana, dan begitu juga jika masih ada keperluan yang membutuhkan demand and supply dan sebagainya, selagi itulah advertising itu akan terus berlaku. Jadinya kita harus pikir begini ya, okay, manusia itu berbeda punya what we call it, request, demand, and so on. Okay, mungkin di dalam kelas awak mempunyai 40 orang, tapi 40 orang ini mereka ini mempunyai request yang berbeza-beza, yang mempunyai keinginan yang berbeza-beda daripada satu sama lain. Jadi keinginan inilah yang membutuhkan produk-produk di luar sana itu, okey, supaya daripada satu seginya, jika keperluan produk itu ada peluangnya untuk ditawarkan, so bagaimana? Bagaimana ianya boleh berlaku? Jadi selagi ada produk, selagi ada brand, selagi ada jenama, jadi disitulah advertising itu tetap akan berlaku. Itulah jawapan saya. Maybe Miss Maharani want to add a little bit?
I'm completely agree with Pak Sahril. Saya juga pertanyaannya seperti itu. Jadi saya punya jawaban yang sama persis, hanya udah dikatakan oleh Pak Sahril. So I think that the only difference mungkin dari hari ini dengan nanti mungkin beberapa tahun ke depan itu is only about the shape on the form or the commodity. Jadi komoditasnya ini yang berubah. Tapi bukan, saya pikir selama ada permintaan dari pasar, selama kita masih menggunakan barang, selama kita masih membeli, ya, selama perdagangan masih ada, selama dunia masih berjalan, saya pikir tetap. Cuma mungkin teman-teman yang there is another thing that you should consider as the student, that competition. Jadi karena tadi komoditas kita adalah kreativitas, jadi dalam hal ini ketika kalian keluar, modal utama kalian adalah kreativitas. Nah, kalian berkompetisi, kalian you compete with the people who has maybe they have no background academic background, but they have experience. Jadi teman-teman, sekali lagi memang idealnya adalah semua orang yang bekerja dalam praktik creative industry ini, they should have apa ya, semacam gelar, sesuatu yang mungkin bisa diverifikasi, like even for the certification as well. Nah, ini yang mungkin menjadi tantangan juga buat kita ketika kalian nanti keluar dari kampus, after you graduated, that you not only having one graduation certification. Jadi bukan cuma sertifikat atau ijazah yang kalian punya, tapi ada skill-skill lain yang harus dikembangkan itu melalui sertifikasi-sertifikasi. Dan ini teman-teman, it's very complex actually. It's very complex because it not only works for the advertising student, but also for design student in general. Jadi kalian itu pertama, mungkin saran saya, I only can give you some advices based on my experience. Yang pertama adalah networking. Networking ini penting sekali. Jadi apakah tadi pertanyaannya kami masih bisa eksis nanti sekitar beberapa tahun lagi? Apakah masih worth berkuliah in college, like in university, to learn advertising? Nah, selain daripada itu seperti sebuah mandatory, itu like pembuktian bagi kalian. Tapi ada banyak hal lain yang menunjang juga. Yang pertama adalah networking, yang kedua adalah skill, karena kalian akan belajar advertising in general kan. Jadi sebaiknya dalam dunia ke depan ini kalian memiliki satu, at least the personal interest, kalian punya skills, kalian bisa, mohon maaf, but like in Asia, they require you have to be multitasking. So it will be better if you could master some skills, like not only concepting, but you also can presenting your ideas, and you can also do some design, karena Pak Syahril in advertising concentration, actually the portion of designing it's less than them for building concept. Jadi anak-anak advertising in Telkom University ini sejauh ini mereka memang lebih penguatan di konsep ketimbang di design skill. Nah, mungkin ini hal yang teman-teman perlu kalian buat menjadi lebih balance, dengan cara jangan berpikir bahwa belajar itu hanya dilakukan di dalam kelas. Bahkan actually that you have to go out and you have to meet new people, and then you have to watch, like it's related with the previous week that we mentioned to you that you just go out and then good traveling and then watch a lot of movies and then everything. Kita sudah membahas itu di minggu lalu. Jadi sebenarnya teman-teman, it is still time to develop the skills and then develop the mindset, the attitude. Ini juga mungkin berhubungan karena kalian adalah Gen Z. I really want to know about Gen Z in Malaysia if they share the similar trait with the Gen Z in Indonesia. Tapi saya pikir hal-hal tersebut yang harus dilakukan dengan konsisten. Jadi apakah worth? It should be worth. It should be worth. But advertising, by learning advertising, actually you can work in everywhere. in my personal opinion. Mungkin dari saya seperti itu. Ya, terima kasih Ega pertanyaannya. Ada lagi mungkin? Oh, dari Hans. Silakan.
Okay, thank you, Pak Syahril and Bu Maharani. My name is Hans, and I was the student of Telkom University, majoring in communication science back then. So when I knew about this occasion, this event, I'm really interested to join this event about advertisement. So Bu Maharani talk about AI, artificial intelligence, and Pak Syahril talk about the engagement, right? So
Yeah.
I think these two things is so interesting to be discussed. But my question is, what about the ethics, Bu Maharani and also Pak Syahril? Because as we know, back then we have DALL-E that generate Disney-like pictures, and in Indonesia, Pak Syahril, this is so controversial. because it's why you guys use DALL-E instead of using the graphic designer to make the illustration of the Disney-like picture. So as an advertisers, what should we do related with this kind of new things, new technology, AI, related with the ethics? Should we apakah kita harus meninggalkan rule or the ethics to advertise our jenama, our brand? Because like Indomie, the latest Indomie ads is about they use AI to advertise the newest noodles, and the community in Indonesia are so mad at Indomie because why the fingers are not perfect? Why this is AI based video? So I know like the netizens in Indonesia are so disappointed with Indomie because they use AI instead of using the graphic designer. So how as an advertiser we should face this, Bu Maharani and also Pak Syahril? Thank you.
Okay. Can you hear my voice actually?
Yeah, I can hear you, Pak Syahril.
Okay, because right now I'm using my phone because of my battery just dead. Okay. To answer the question, okay, there's a difference in advertising actually. Two sides plays the most prominent part: the marketing side and also the advertisers as well. Okay, and then most of the marketing side is based on actually the background of the marketers mostly come from those who think that they can sell everything, and then the advertisers mostly come from the art background lah. Okay, and then some other point, if you're working in the agency, okay, the marketing side and the advertising side, the advertising side also, they sometimes have some argument on the persetujuan bagaimana mahu kita deliver perkara-perkara ini. Sebagai contoh, ada masa dan ketikanya untuk for the marketing part, they only think about how to sell and what to sell and about the thing is about the profits that they can get. Okay, and then the advertisers is the one who going to think about the art direction and so on. Okay, to answer the question, okay, dalam hal-hal yang sebegini, saya selalu mengingatkan kepada pelajar saya, jika Anda mempunyai a formal background, jika Anda mempunyai satu sesi di mana Anda telah mengalami satu pembelajaran di universitas, okay, jadinya Anda sepatutnya mempunyai satu tanggungjawab untuk mengajar orang-orang di luar sana, terutamanya orang awam, okay, berkenaan dengan apa tanggungjawab yang kita boleh hasilkan. Di dalam hal ini, saya percaya memang ada berlakunya hal-hal sebagaimana untuk mempercepatkan proses kerja itu, mungkin kita perlu melakukan sesuatu yang in a short way. Melakukan sesuatu yang lebih pantas dan sebagainya. Tapi from experience, some of the point when you are working in agency, memang hasilnya perlu pantas gitu. Ada masa dan ketiganya jobnya masuk pukul 11 dan pukul 2 kamu sudah perlu deliver perkara itu. Jadi ada masa dan ketiganya kebutuhan kepada AI itu perlu ada jika untuk melakukan sesuatu, tapi daripada segi etiknya, jika Anda telah melakukan proses itu berulang-ulang, di mana proses itu berlaku secara konsistennya, Anda tahu bagaimana untuk mempercepatkan sesuatu proses kerja itu, dan saya percaya pada tiba saat dan ketikanya itu, mungkin Anda tidak lagi membutuhkan AI kerana Anda telah mempunyai cara dan juga tekniknya bagaimana untuk kita menghasilkan sesuatu. Jadinya di sini, we are talking about the ethics, we are talking about the responsibility. You are the one who hold his responsible to educate them, about the ethics, because of some other point. Jika bukan Anda, siapa lagi yang bisa mengajar ataupun memberikan pedoman kepada masyarakat di luar sana.